evening, everyone. Welcome here, and thank you for coming here. It's a pleasure. So we're here to talk about education, as we all know. And I'm going to start this way. Iqra was the first word in Quran, and rightfully so. You know why? Because education is the most important thing in the society. In fact, it's what creates a strong country. About education, we have lived many years, and we have seen how important education is. When the education was in a good position, when the people was educated, and we had people that could think, that could react to problems, we had strong countries. So, and we owe all the progress that we have now to our educational system. So I believe it is only logical that if we want our country to rise, we have to improve upon our educational system. When I speak to people of the older generation about their educational system, they always speak highly. They tell me that it was a time when the teacher was respected. It was a time when you had to earn every point. It was a time when you had to test your perseverance. Sadly, I can't say the same about our education system. In fact, we're going to have to start from primary school. I'm going to say that sadly, some of the teachers were incompetent. In fact, I remember that my English teacher used to say Iceland instead of Ireland. and the programs were poorly chosen. Going into secondary school, the problems got worse. In fact, so many good students that I knew were brilliant, they got progressively worse and worse because of the change from Arabic to French. In fact, not only that, but what's even worse is that such a huge problem have been shut into such small periods of time, making the educational system more like a marathon and not actually learning. So we're going to have to fix this problem. We're going to have to change this. What are we going to do? Well, here's my idea. For example, in history and geography, we have been studying the same lessons since the beginning. To put you in perspective, we have studied Butterflies 3 times. 3 times, ladies and gentlemen. That's not acceptable. So I believe that such time is better used into another subject. And not only that, but even the languages. We study about Jahad while we were in the science section. I understand how important our history is, but I believe that when we study about languages, we have to study about things that concern us, depending on the section, so that it becomes more useful as a subject. Not only that, but we got to change the way that the student is taught. In fact, we have to make it, because we all know that if the information comes from the mind of the student, it will never be forgotten. In the end, I would like to say that we should never, ever forget about the importance of our educational system, because I guarantee you, it is the solution to all our problems. And thank you very much.
فرحان باش انه معناها في الزون 2 عندنا كاليتي مع دي جون entre 14 et 18 ans. نحب الناس الكل تقف.
باش نتعصب فريمون. انا ممبر دي جوري عيونا دمر بالرسمي فابوليس بيكم دمر. والله حاب تقولي مخ عندي فورماتور ومانيمي مش عارف قديش الفورماسيون شنو كيما هذاكم. وباش نحكي قدام اودينس كيما هذيا صدقني لا نجم نعمل بيرفورمانس مع الاماتور. فريمون شابو.
هاي انتم عملوا ما كده دخل تفتحوا حوايجكم باش تبدا السواري ان شاء الله.
ديسكوتيك.
سواري سونتونير ومن بعد سواري سونتونير باش تصير ديسكوتيك. سبيتش entre 5 minutes et 7 minutes. واضح؟ باهي. السبيتش نتاعك عندك الاسباس معناتها تتصرف فيه. لا لونغ. كيما تحب. ليش؟ أي مسألة أنت حبابها وبليه معناها أزولة. نعم. بيه. دونك عندك يبدأ وصلت 5 minutes تهزم الفوكات 5 minutes et 7 minutes. وتفضل معك.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here, and thanks for giving me such an opportunity to be here to talk about one of the most important topics. I wanted to have a big audience here, but it's okay. At first, I'm going to introduce myself. Of course, my name is Nesrine Boutala. I'm from the International Junior Chamber of DJERBA. This evening, I'm here to talk about a motion which says how could organizations, more precisely civil society organizations, contribute to the economic development of a country. I'm going to start with the general example, which is organizations all over the world, which are spread, of course, all over the world. Let's take the example of the UNESCO, UNICEF, Doctors Without Borders, and Walk Free. All these organizations are trying hard and are working hard to improve the quality life of peoples around the world, and of course help their governments to make their economy grow. I'm going to take a more specific example, which is our dear country, Tunisia, and talking about organizations in our country. I'm taking the example. I'm going to take about some examples about organizations in Tunisia, like the Tunisian General Labor Union, and we're going to extract some keywords. Of course, the most important keywords is economic development. The most important role of these organizations in our country is contributing and helping to repair and rebuild hospitals, schools, public buildings, and even building youth houses. Of course, the question is, how do they contribute of the growth of the economy of our country? Of course, they contribute by donating money and building by themselves these public buildings. So the government will reserve a huge amount of money and don't have to spend millions of dollars on building these public places. Second part, I'm going to talk about taxes and how do these organizations contribute, of course, in the economic development. As we all know, any organization or any private property has to pay the government a certain tax. And as we all know, of course, taxes do contribute to the growth of the country's economy. The third point is raising funds, which is one of the most noble acts that civil society organization could ever show. This act could be shown on collecting books, scholar furniture, clothes, money, and even could be shown on organizing concerts by taking the incomes of these concerts or to build orphanages, elder houses, and even schools also. All these acts can contribute of the growth of the economic of the country, of course, by minimizing the burden of the national budget. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about sponsorships. Sponsors all over the world could help social organizations, more precisely civil society organizations, by investing their money in a country and by helping these organizations to do projects, and of course that will make places of work to many unemployed peoples. That's all. And thanks for your listening.
Good luck.
Thank you.